Golden Gate Pictures, purveyors of films that will make you want to hurl yourself from a bridge. Natural color. I guess in 1947 the entire world looked like it had been smeared with a thin layer of hobo phlegm. Also starring the frozen head of Marlon Brando. Yeah, William B. David isn't really worth the trumpet flourishes. Hey, Marcel Le Picard, the famous mime starship captain. Glenn also doubled as the redundancy engineer. Oh, bullshit, this film wasn't edited. At the Christie Cabana. Thanks to that sign, they haven't been able to perform an autopsy in years.
Is this the body?
I'm new at this.
And the police are particularly anxious that the cause of death be determined at the earliest possible moment. It's a pity.
Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city.
One hastes to perform an autopsy on a beautiful woman.
This one won't bother me much, though.
Most unusual. There are no marks of violence on the body. What do they suspect? Poison?
Isn't it your job to figure that out?
Doctor, that the authorities are entirely at sea as to how she was killed. They know why, but and they also have the fellow who killed her. But
Yes, that doesn't matter. That's none of our business. Our business is to find out what killed her. And yet,
Probably ought to start, Frank.
one often wonders,
It's getting really late.
what could have caused the last thought that was cut off by death?
These autopsies can take hours, and
If it was spoken now,
I got a family at home waiting for me, and
what would it be?
haven't eaten since lunch, and I got low blood sugar.
Yes, you're here.
Oh, she's fine. She's just got resting dead face.
But you know what you killed me. I warned you.
My son,
Don't come
by the
out.
time you see this, I will have been dead for many thousands of your years.
No, I told you I didn't want the bandage.
why, Laura?
So it's a murder mystery told in flashback with a victim named Laura. Yeah, setting yourself a high bar there, don't you think?
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing, Laura, nothing.
Dr.
Now, won't
Cecil
you
B.
lie down
DeMille.
again and let me complete the examination. You're a sick girl, you know, in a highly nervous condition.
Which is why you
I want to
needed
know
a
what you
face
meant by saying the
bandage.
bandage reminded me of something.
If you don't know, how should I?
You don't fool me for a minute, Doctor.
You replaced
I know
my
how you
coffee with
feel about
Folgers
me.
crystals.
Do you, Laura? Then I wish you'd tell me, for I don't know. I don't know how I feel about you at all.
You're clever, Doctor. But I'm wise to you and that fool of a son of yours.
How long have you been married to Ward now?
Ward Bond, is he in this movie?
No.
Nah, we're not that lucky.
Why don't you give him his divorce? He's asked you often enough.
He's even agreed to
I'll
take
give him a
custody of
divorce when
Wally
I've
and the
been
Bee.
ready.
I see.
I'm not afraid of anything he can do, or you, or anyone else.
Oh yeah, this is the relationship you want to have with your doctor.
What's that?
Mutual loathing.
Your heart's beating like a trick hammer. I must warn you that this high state of nervous tension.
What's that noise?
It's only a branch tapping against the window.
A branch held by a murderer! I'm just fucking with you.
Laura, if you want me to help you, you must tell me what it is you fear.
I told you I'm not afraid of anything. I know what's going on here. Someone's trying to scare me out, but it won't work, see? Here I am, and here I'll stay until
Cold
I
never bothered me anyway.
I'm afraid there's more truth in that than you suspect.
Laura, I must ask you not to cause Father any more trouble. I don't want you threatening him, you hear?
You too. You're so cute. I'm sure you want to be alone.
This is a weird family.
You're not going to make him pay for my mistake.
What are you going to do about it?
I'd like to.
You'd like to choke me, wouldn't you, Ward?
Lucky for you, I'm
Haven't
into
got
that.
the nerve. Here. This is the only thing you ever gave me.
The only thing he ever gave her was an orange bath towel?
right.
I did want to be alone with you.
I gave her this when we were married.
Really? She's right to hate you,
Never
son.
passed between us.
Ward, what do you propose to do about Laura?
What can I
Well,
do?
choke her, I
She won't
guess.
leave me. She won't give me a divorce.
Well, things can't go on this way, you know.
Dad, what is the matter with her? What do you think is wrong?
I don't know.
She wasn't this way until she began getting those letters from abroad, you remember?
I believe the correct term is letters from a woman, son.
But you would have thought that when they stopped coming that...
What is it, Elizabeth?
There's a patient, Doctor, a Mrs. Williams.
Williams?
That's the name she gave, and she's decked out like she's going to a horse show.
If I'm late for my horse show, I swear I'm gonna scream.
I can't see anyone today. Ask her to make another appointment.
Dad, please don't let what has happened interfere with your practice.
Very well. Send her in a few minutes.
The iron will of
That
Dad.
Bill Raymond's waiting. Do you want to see him?
Who's he?
That private cop who's always hanging around just hoping somebody gets murdered.
That's
Oh,
a
yes,
weird
probably
thing for a
his
cop
case.
to hope.
Take care of it, will you, Ward?
Yes.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
This for you.
An orange bath towel? My life of drudgery and degradation has finally paid
But this
off.
belongs to Mrs. Van E, doesn't it?
Not anymore. It's all yours.
She won't get sore, will she? I don't want to have any trouble with her. You know how she is.
I know.
bitch
You
on
all know
wheels.
Elizabeth. And I want to thank you for your patience.
Run along now, Elizabeth.
Yes, Doctor.
You made a fatal mistake, my boy, in marrying Laura.
Yes, I know. But you don't suppose I'm going to stand for it forever, do you?
No, I don't. And I don't think it will be necessary.
Do you have a plan?
I think it'll be better if you leave everything to me.
Doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo.
From the day a mysterious caller came to see Dr. Van E.
Well, that clears that up. Thanks, corpse.
Oh, yes, I remember now, Mrs. Williams. I spoke to you this morning on the telephone. I'm sorry, but I can't tell you any more now than I told you then.
Oh, naturally, Doctor. I did not mean to imply that there were any abnormal goings-on here.
Or that I am
assure you
in
that
any
is
way
not,
an
Mrs. Williams,
actor.
nor will there be.
Nevertheless, Doctor, the way you were described to me and the way your place was described to me...
This woman's
I'm certain
eyebrows are
that
working
I am in the
overtime.
right place.
May I ask from whom you obtained these descriptions?
From a friend, Doctor.
Eyebrows
a
up,
mutual friend.
eyebrows down. Oh, acting is hard.
The woman I love.
Oh, God, I think these two are supposed to be the funny ones.
Stop tracking your big flat feet after me wherever I go. I've got things to do.
Fuck you, Cary Grant and Rosalind Russell. There's a new king and queen of comedy.
yourself, the little housewife.
I never knew the cop who didn't love to stand around and watch other people work.
Ouch, that's one for
Mrs.
Lilybeth.
Williams, it's obvious from your conversation that you've come into possession of certain facts concerning my past. I know of only one person who could have given you that information,
Ralph Edwards.
and it was my belief, yes, even my hope, that person was dead. But let me say that even if that person were alive, I should not submit to blackmail from you or from anyone else.
You show great courage, Doctor, for one in your unusual position. There has been no question of blackmail.
Or acting.
Seeking your cooperation, which you have refused to give. So, let us call the matter closed.
Thank you.
Au revoir, Doctor.
That means get bent in Spanish.
Then came this sinister pair.
That's all we get? Look, I know you're dead, but a little more effort? Come on. So by a sinister pair, she meant an old heroin addict and Hervé Villachez on his way to the bowling alley.
Inigo and I should have kicked the door in.
Yes, sir.
Sir? There is an air of inquiry about you that immediately offends my deepest nature. There is something suggesting Scotland Yard,
Is there?
French Sûreté,
Only,
Italian
a lot
Cavalieri,
stupider.
the Turkish Police, and other minions of the law. Short, sir, I think you're a cop.
Yeah, how'd you know?
And right there is where you can see
I
Bela
believe
realize he's too good for
I'm
this
in the
movie.
home of Dr. Joseph Van E.
Yes, sir. I mean, sirs.
Oh, do not be polite to Inigo. He's only offended by it. Run along, Inigo. Make yourself at home.
We got a nice tree in the yard, but it ain't got no coconuts.
What? I mean, I feel like he's right to be offended, but I'm honestly not sure how that's even a slur.
My little friend Inigo is deaf and dumb. He cannot hear and he cannot speak. But he reads the lips. And I would advise you to say nothing to annoy him. For his temper is short, indeed.
Get it? His temper is short!
This, I presume, is Dr. Vanny's private office.
Yes, sir. But I really should announce you.
My dear girl, if I allowed myself to be announced, I doubt I would be received anywhere.
I'm sorry, really I am, but the doctor won't see anybody without an appointment.
Appointment? I have had an appointment with him these 20 years.
Goddamn HMO!
He will see me.
Doctor, someone's coming!
My dear doctor, truthfully can it be said that your house is your castle, protected by your countless slaves?
Countless slaves? He employs one maid and an idiot.
I was warned you might appear like one of your own illusions out of nowhere.
Actually, I took an Uber from the bus station.
My dear Joseph, you have not changed a bit.
Have you met my friend, Mr. Raymond?
Raymond?
I will pet him and love him and call him George.
No doubt a relative of the great magician of the same name.
Mr. Raymond is our private patrol officer. He keeps an eye on the premises for us.
Oh yeah, you can tell nothing gets by him.
Goings.
A very good idea, my dear Joseph, to have a private bodyguard at your beck and call.
Well, you fellas are old friends, I can see that.
Yeah, you're his bodyguard and Bella's his long-lost pal.
Old friends.
Well, then maybe you'd like to be alone to talk over old times.
A very good suggestion. Thank you, Mr. Raymond.
I won't be far away, Doc. Well, so long, Mr. Leonide. Don't pull any more little men out of your hat.
Ah, Raymond, you're a caution.
What brings you to me after all this time? The long arm of coincidence, my dear Joseph. Simply the long arm of coincidence.
Yeah, that's not an expression.
No, I can't say that I am. You with your foreign background and I...
With my inexplicable xenophobia?
Always truthful, Cousin Joseph. As when we were young men. You might have said no and saved your career. But you prefer to tell the truth.
Vaccines do cause autism.
What do you want here, Leonide?
A few days' hospitality, my dear Joseph. Nothing more. Is that too much for one cousin to ask of another?
Remember, we agreed not to think of each other as cousins again, Leonide.
Even though we laugh alike, we walk alike, at times we even talk alike.
And I'm willing to forget. And I suggest that you do the same.
You've grown older, Leonide, but there may be something in what you say. I don't want to hold a grudge. But don't do anything that will make me regret my action.
Last time you were here, you absolutely wrecked the guest toilet.
Now, if you will show me to my room. Oh, I should say, I have a traveling companion from whom I am inseparable.
Really? Is there anything unusual about him I should know?
A dwarf, one of the little men. He became very much attached to me when he lost his master.
Little people have masters? Where are you from?
What good would that do?
How true.
Very well. You may have the room next to my daughter-in-law. I know you like that.
Oh, yes. The lady, who I am told has an utmost horror of having her eyes blindfolded.
Which is weird, because she's fine with having her feet blindfolded.
In origin, I dare say. Something to think about.
That night, my husband questioned Leonard about my past.
Cousin Leo. Oh. My dear Ward.
Bert Ward.
How flattering that you remember me.
Well, how could I ever forget you? What are you doing here?
A chance visit, my boy. I wanted to see the old homestead again.
Upstate New York.
Yes,
Clearly,
and
Bela
he
Lugosi's
received me
old
with open
homestead.
arms. In a manner of speaking.
I don't mind telling you, you came at a very bad time.
We're spraying for silverfish. Gonna have to tent the whole house.
My boy, Trouble and I are like this. I presume you refer to the charming lady in the room next to mine, your wife, I believe. Yes, Laura. I have met her, but I'm looking forward to the pleasure. I'd like to talk to you for a moment. All right.
So, Laura and I swing, if you're interested.
By doing what, my boy? You've been everywhere. You were caught in Europe during the war.
So Bela was caught in Europe during the war and he travels with a dwarf? Why aren't we watching that movie?
Did you ever hear of a dance team called Renee and Lorette? I don't think so, my boy. And then again, must have been such a team. Look.
They were featured in Step Up 2, The Streets.
Renee and Lorette, the dance of the green mask in the green room in Paris.
Inexplicably written in English.
Green room.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition!
Oh, the face of the man does seem slightly familiar. May I ask, where you got this photograph? The maid, Lilibet, found it in Laura's room and turned it over to me.
Oh yeah, this is a healthy household.
Boy, I'm afraid I can't help you. I played the green room on several occasions, but never with these people.
So Bela's a stage magician who was caught in Europe during the war and travels with a dwarf. Why aren't we watching that movie?
I'm sure the girl behind the green mask in this picture is Laura. How can you be sure? Who can ever be sure what's behind the mask?
Who can be sure?
If the people
It's
in
a
this
face, like
photograph
100% of the time, it's a
come to
face.
life. I'd like to know who the man is. It can be anyone, my friend. Anyone. In this makeup, it might be even I wish you wouldn't joke about it. This is very serious.
How?
But let us say you found out who the man in the photograph is. What then? I have an idea that if the man in this picture were to show up, I'd find out I wasn't married to Laura at all. Think over what I've asked you. It'll be to your advantage. Certainly, my boy. I will give it every consideration, and perhaps something will occur.
The hell with the end of that sentence!
Don't you want to leave the photograph with me for my further study?
Study, that's all. Definitely not to masturbate
My
to.
memory needs. No thanks. I'll keep it. As you wish.
Dickweed. God, I need some heroin.
Lorette. I'll make a bet. The man in green will get you yet.
And now to have a cigarette and tool around in my Corvette. Let's go, this scene's run its course.
Inigo.
You killed my father.
A gruesome surprise was in store for me the following morning.
You know, I'm beginning to think these little interludes don't actually add anything. Ma'am, I'm here with your gruesome surprise.
Who is it?
Murdergram.
What do you want?
The afternoon mail. He wanted to know when it arrived.
Was there anything for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Put it under the door.
I can't. It's a package.
Well, then go outside and chuck it through the window.
What's in it?
I don't know. It's against postal regulations to open other people's mail.
That's never stopped you before.
I'd like to know what you mean by that remark, ma'am.
Really? There's no way to misinterpret it.
No, I don't. Get out.
It's addressed to you in green ink with a warning. Look out for the man with the green mask.
Yeah, peeking at the address was a little nosy, but I don't know if it's worth the musical sting. Ooh, I hope this is my order from Adam and Eve. The haunting opening a parcel theme. Wait a minute. I've got shoulders like a linebacker. Madeline Kahn, no! Hey, Jerry.
rescue, ma'am. Who done it? Which way did he go?
Get out! Get out!
I just heard you yell. I was hoping it was a murder at least.
What? Hey, fuck you, Raymond.
But you don't understand. I'm supposed to be here. That's what I'm being paid for.
Paid?
Yeah. You see, I'm Bill Raymond, private cop in this neck of the woods.
He works here. Why does nobody know him?
Something happened around here so as I could solve it and get my old job back at Sentinel Homicide. Nothing personal, of course.
But you'd be doing me a real solid if you could get yourself moited.
Nobody said nothing to me. I was just waiting around outside to see Dr. Van Nee, and I heard you yell.
So you're a friend of that crazy doctor and his son.
He
Crazy?
works
I
here,
wouldn't exactly
in the
say
house
that,
where
ma'am.
you
The
live.
doc's a pretty good egg. You wouldn't want anyone to say you was crazy, even if you...
You can go back and tell him I'm not afraid of being murdered by you or them or anyone else.
Really?
No,
Because
I don't
being
get
afraid of
harmed.
murder strikes me as
Still
sensible.
and all, if you was to get murdered, and I was to find out who done it, it'd be kind of a break for me.
You're a monster.
Take the kosher.
I wouldn't say that to you, lady.
I mean, I wish
I knew
aloud
what
for
it
your
meant.
murder, but I got class.
Now will you get out?
Unless I miss my guess, there's some serious dysfunction in this household.
Bedroom companion you've got there.
Get out.
I'll go, but don't think I'll come running next time you yell. I'll know it's a fake.
I became afraid and my mind started to crack.
Yeah, thanks for the update. Could we stop doing this?
Lilybeth.
I know Laura's the one on the slab, but somehow I can't help wishing Raymond would be the one to get murdered.
Where'd you get that box? I don't know what you're talking about. You lying little snook.
Strangling your mate has gotta be an OSHA violation.
That's the last time you put your hands on me.
I'll give you one more chance, and then
I told you I don't know where the picture is, and I don't know what you're talking about.
It's been you all the time going through my things, opening my mail, rapping on my door at night.
Dusting my furniture, vacuuming my floor. Who the hell do you think you
You've got my
are?
robe on now. Where'd you get that?
I was just trying it on. Mr. Ward gave it to me. He said you didn't want it anymore.
I'll tell you when there's something I don't want. Oh, shut up. It's only a dummy.
No, it's not. That doesn't look a thing like
Where'd
Raymond.
you get that thing?
I suppose you're going to tell me you don't know anything about that either.
Oh, I bet it was in the box. In the box I brought up for you, that's what.
There were no stamps on it. How did it get in the mail?
I don't know. The doorbell rang, and I thought it was a mailman. I opened the door, and it was sitting there on the stoop.
You're lying.
Delivery
No,
services
I
would
don't
never
mind
leave
telling
parcels
you
on the front
now and then, But
porch.
I'm not lying now, honest.
Trying to scare me out. I'm not leaving.
No, but I am.
You come here.
Get me off of this crazy
You're
thing!
Mr. Ward, pretty thick, aren't you?
Thick?
Yes, thick like your head. He's fallen in love with someone else. Who is she?
I think her
don't
name
know.
is June.
Not me.
I know it isn't you. I know all the signs. He's fallen in love with some simple-faced men. There's always a way to get even with them. I've got to find that picture. Otherwise, they won't know what he looks like.
What, have you never looked at the picture before? You can't
He
remember?
won't dare touch me.
Who do you mean, the man in the picture?
Have you seen him?
Maybe I have, and maybe I haven't. Maybe I saw him go behind the thicket, or through the wall, or under the house.
He's here in the house?
Yes, I let him in. I let him in.
You let a murderer into the house, and there's just no way you're getting a good reference for your next job.
There's nothing safe from your prying eyes, is there? You think you know everything, don't you?
I know why you're afraid, and I know what you've done. No, I'm not so sick. I'm not as thick as you think I am, Miss Laval.
Compared to Raymond, everybody in this house is a freaking genius.
I'll remind you that.
Why, you...
Heads up!
Excuse me, lady.
Sometimes there's nothing to say, but Jesus.
Oh, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Where are you hiding?
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Right, boom!
Dr. Van Nee! Dr. Van Nee! Doc.
Just thought I'd drop by for a quick skull
But after
session.
all, there ain't nothing in my contract that says I got a...
Contract? He signed a contract and nobody knows who he is.
Where did you get that, Raymond?
Miss Van Nee chucked it at me like I was a pass receiver for a football team. The and I'm all out of practice.
Let me see it.
Madeline Kahn.
This comes from a group of anatomical specimens that was locked in a room in the cellar.
All anatomical dummies come
How
with
did
looks
you
of
happen to
horror
get it?
on their faces.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. There I was, outside her door, strictly minding my own business, understand? Listening at the keyhole.
I don't think that belongs to the realm of your duties, Raymond.
But, Doc, there were screams inside. You gotta admit it's within the longitude of my profession to make with an investigatory reaction thereto. What am I saying?
Die,
I don't
please
understand how it
die.
got from its locked room in the cellar.
Well, the way I heard it, it was sent to Mrs. Van A.
That was rather a gruesome practical joke.
Why, your anatomical locker hasn't been opened for ages. I think you once told me you'd lost the only key to it.
I know. There is no key to my knowledge.
Why, that thing didn't walk out of the room by itself.
Hardly.
Doc, I'm worried.
What about, Raymond?
I can't bring my wife to orgasm.
The whole thing don't seem hardly serious to me. I think that if it's all the same to you, I better be checking along to other duties.
You're not afraid, are you, Raymond?
Who, me? Scared? It's just that I don't think that there's going to be any murder here done after all.
And as we've previously established, I'm a bloodthirsty
Not
monster.
your fault, I guess. It's just not my lucky day, that's all.
Everybody remaining stubbornly alive.
Thank you, Billy Beth.
How is it the dialogue's so muddy, but her footfalls are crystal clear?
Coffee in the kitchen?
What happened to the 3 gallons I already gave you today?
Lilybeth.
People are searching for the kind of
He's
love that
always
we
hanging around,
possess.
cracking up my floors and things. What's that on your shoe? Looks like cobwebs from out of the cellar. What were you doing in the basement?
It could have been the attic.
Bill Raymond, you're holding out on me. What are you up to?
Who gives a shit?
Yes. Who asked you to go poking around in the cellar?
It was in performance of my duty.
But not important enough to show on camera.
What did you find?
Absolutely nothing. That's what makes me so disgusted.
Too bad about you.
That's exactly what the
You know,
audience is
Lilybeth,
saying.
I think somebody around here is just kidding. They don't mean business at all.
Why don't you just wait around and see?
Say, if you got any inside dope, I wish you'd tip me off. If I'm ever gonna
Wasn't
get back
Bela
to
Lugosi
Central
in this
and
movie?
prove I'm a good detective. I gotta have some clues.
Yes, I was scared. Scared of my life.
Then leave. Ward wants to divorce you.
I expected big things of that ghoulish-looking guy, but he ain't delivered neither.
I should say, in a way, you were entitled to expect big things from him.
A sad commentary on
Yale
Bela
was once
Lugosi's
confined to
entire
this house when
career.
It was an institution for the insane. Nerves, you know.
Do tell. Well, then, he must know his way around the place, huh?
I understand while he was here, he engineered an immense number of secret passages through which the guards could keep an eye on the inmates at night. Finally, he took one of these passages into the outside world.
Which is why you don't
We
let the
heard later
inmates
he'd been
engineer your
seen in Europe.
passages.
Ah, Europe. That's where history's being made today. Gee, I'd love to travel and...
Well, perhaps you'll have an opportunity someday.
Not if something don't happen around here pretty soon to make me famous.
Why does he think homicide detectives get famous for solving
I'm
murders?
trying
It's
to get
their
a cup of
job.
coffee off of her all day. She don't care what happens to my metabolism. Metabolism. That's a good word. I wonder what it means.
Oh, Raymond, I hope you die in a fire.
Operator, I want the police right away.
Thank you, Thing.
Stop crowding me.
But, hon, don't you want me around to protect you?
Raymond couldn't successfully protect anyone from a dead aphid.
Lilybeth.
I want you because
My wife
I need you to live!
I just live for the day when I can take you out of all this. When I can slave and get you the luxuries in life. Gee, I'd gladly work my fingers to the bone to buy you expensive motor cars and furs and and jewels and things and serve you breakfast in bed.
One good moita, baby, then my ship's coming in.
Am I crazy?
Yes, and I'd hate to hang by my neck until you got me all those things.
Yeah, you might get a little blue in the face. Still and all I gotta do is to find myself one slightly murdered body, and I'm...
Nobody expects
Stop
that.
looking at me.
Forget it.
Oh, Lilybeth, sometimes I think I'm not getting anywheres with you. What do you think?
I think you've got a good idea there.
All right. You'll be sorry someday when you see my picture in the paper.
Idiot somehow manages to run himself over. Page 12.
Hey, Lilybeth, why don't you answer the doorbell? Maybe that Indigo guy wants in.
When did this become a movie about this idiot? I hate every minute he's on screen.
The doctor ain't
Hi,
home.
we're selling satellite
You'll have
dishes.
to call some other time.
Don't be silly.
Too late.
Don't say I didn't tell you. Close the door on your way out.
Hey, wait a minute. Well, if it isn't Bull Raymond.
So the one guy he doesn't have to introduce himself to doesn't live here. Yeah.
Harry, you trying to ruin me?
How?
Come
Your
here, Bull.
identity is not a secret. You introduce yourself
Hey,
to
let's find
everybody in this goddamn
How
house.
do you do, I'm sure.
Likewise.
How do you happen to be out with him?
Cute, darling, don't you think? Flat at both ends, head and feet. You've heard me speak of him? Bull Raymond.
Bill Raymond, if you please. Mr. Terry Lee, you so-called reporter.
Now that we got
How do
the
you
stilted
happen to be out with a
exposition
dude
out
like
of the way, what can I do you for?
Cornell. Good for dull days in a man's life.
Mr. Raymond. Oh, yeah, I remember. Terry told me about the time you shot up the dressmaker's dummy.
Huh?
Yeah, he said you closed in on what you thought was a murderer, but it turned out to be the dressmaker's dummy and you shot it full of holes so the real murderer got away.
He went on to kill 17 more
My
people.
pal.
So this is where you've been hiding after they kicked you out for that fiasco, huh? Bill, I mean?
What are you doing here? Can't a man rehabilitate himself in peace? Here I come looking for an honest crime around here so I can solve it and get myself back to Central. And you come
Yeah?
along and...
Where's the body, Bill?
There ain't no body. That's the trouble.
Now,
As
now,
we've
let's keep it
established,
friendly.
I'm constantly disappointed that
What
nobody's
do you
taken a
mean?
human
Let's
life.
have it. Who killed who and why?
Are you kidding? Did somebody get knocked off around here?
Look, I don't like to be kidded either. Where is it hidden, Sherlock?
Oh, Terry, you've been on the police beat so long that...
Now listen, Bill, you know me well enough to know I wouldn't come out here just for the ride. Not when I could be,
Banging the
It just
soccer
so
ball
happened
here.
that There was a call to the police. Came from out here. And I happened to be there when it came through. Miss Cornell happens to be the operator. So she tipped me off. Told me the line had gone dead. So I smelled the story, and here I am for an exclusive. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
What's in that?
Well, that's the doctor's consulting room, but there ain't nobody in there. I've been standing here for quite a spell.
Open it up. Let's take a look.
Wait, why does this guy get to make all the decisions suddenly?
That's funny. The lights in here ain't almost never out.
In you go.
Never do that. I could get killed that way.
Is that bad?
No.
Oh, so nothing's happened around here, huh?
It's busted. There, see? Like I said, there ain't nobody here.
Except for the sheet-covered corpse, it's literally impossible to miss.
Hey, cut it out, will you? You're making me dizzy. Well, sure, somebody stumbled over it and pulled it out of the wall. Could happen anywhere.
Wants to shake hands with you, Bill. Step right up.
Not me. You seen it first.
As a homicide detective, I'm uncomfortable around dead bodies.
Doc!
Raymond, did you try and kill me?
Why, Doc, why should I do that? You ain't paid me for last month yet.
Last month. He's
How
been
long
here
you been
over a
here?
month and people keep asking who he is.
I was going to make a telephone call when...
Somebody conked you, huh, Doctor? Then rip the telephone wire out?
Yes, I imagine that is about what happened. Who are these people?
And what the hell is she wearing on her head?
This is Terry Lee and Miss Cornell from the Times.
We don't want any reporters here. Nothing's happened.
Look, Doctor, nobody ever wants reporters, but then something happens, and there they are.
But nothing has happened.
You know, except
I
for the
fell
criminal
inside my
assault
head.
against me.
Oh, I see. Then you got up again, put yourself on the table, and got all nice and pretty in that shroud there.
You won't get any story here.
No kidding, I've been watching this for 35 minutes and I haven't got a clue what's going on.
For a while, seeing that nothing's happened, well, why not?
Very well, you may stay for a while, but
This doctor is very easily led.
Objectionable in any way, I'll have Raymond throw you out.
Please, I want to see Raymond try to throw somebody out.
Get out of the office.
Probably a pretty nice guy caught in a tough spot, that's the way I see it.
I wonder if that thing on her head gets good reception.
You wouldn't want me to tell him you got kicked out of homicide, would you, Bill, old boy?
You know, exactly like you've been telling
Terry,
everyone.
you're my pal. You know that, don't you? Would I kick you out?
You would if you could, Bill. Now, why can we have a little talk, quiet like?
Well, if you just follow me in the parlor over here.
Oh, me too, darling, me too. Darling knows everything about everyone, and that's how I learned.
Good tell.
I just sit at his feet and listen.
Yeah?
Baby, I'm going to miss you an awful lot when I grow tired of you. Now, remember, you're just going to listen.
Boy, he's a real
Darling, what
catch.
else do I do when I'm with you?
Sit down.
Hey, screw you, Terry. I'm a human being.
Now, as I remember it, there was a singer at the Click Club who called herself Laura Laval.
Uncle Fester
Didn't
looks
she marry
on.
young Ward Vanny a couple of years ago?
I don't know nothing about it.
Oh, yes, you do. It was just about the same time that you had that affair with the dressmaker's dummy.
You're sick, Raymond, sick.
Yeah, now I remember, Terry. You're right. She was down to the Click Club, and it was her that married Ward.
As a homicide cop, I keep abreast of the society pages.
Well, there was a party going on, and somebody dared Ward to ask the singer to marry him.
And he said that's a stupid idea because he's a reasonable freaking human being.
That's right. He got pretty high and then popped the question at her.
How romantic. I just love that.
Hush, dear. Listen.
Oh, yeah? Fuckyou.
Well, that's how it happened anyway. Ward woke up the next morning and found himself married solid.
Just checking in, still here.
She'd snapped him up.
Oh, and they lived snappily ever after.
I don't care. I think it was sweet. Darling, couldn't I get you high sometime? And
Sweetheart, have you ever heard the old saying about little girls?
what's that?
Little girls should be seen and not heard. Now go on, powder your nose.
I'm getting really tired of Dick Walt Disney here.
Now wait a minute. We're just getting started. We were talking about a singer who called herself Laura Laval.
Hey, Bela Lugosi's in this movie.
Good reasons of her own.
Gentlemen, I beg your pardon.
I never promised you a rose garden.
I must tell you frankly, I have been eavesdropping.
But you're boring as
Professor
shit.
Leonard, this is a reunion.
My boy, you must forgive me. You seem to remember me, but I do not recollect you. When was it?
There's a better movie somewhere and I'm gonna find it.
What was it? Oh, Professor, it was a long time ago, and I was a kid up in the balcony in Albany.
Yes?
When you brought down the house with great feats of legerdemain.
And a truck full of info.
That was the night that the box office receipts disappeared, just like magic.
So Bella's a stage magician with a shady past who was caught in Europe during the war and travels with a dwarf. Why aren't we watching that movie?
Terry Lee of the Central City Times.
The press? Well, it's nice to have known you.
Wait a minute, Professor. What's your hurry? Are you afraid I might bring up the subject of those certain unfortunate recent connections of yours?
Those unfortunate recent connections, the subject of which we were all very well aware and needs no further explication?
Of course.
And this young lady, no doubt a companion of yours.
Jane Cornell, my fiancée.
She's marrying him? They're a worse match than Ward and Laura.
Delightful. And I would suggest to take very good care of her.
Wait, we're not going to get all our main characters in the same room, are we? That's crazy talk.
Lee.
Oh, I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, Mrs. Vanny.
Every time I try, he acts like a real prick.
I met her upstairs, and I told her all about you, and that you know everything about everyone.
Thank you very much, dear. Welcome to your living room, Mrs. Vanny.
I seriously think I'm starting to hate this guy more
I
than
understand you're
Raymond.
not unaware of my position in this house.
Well, maybe you can tell us about it.
I'm being kept a prisoner here against my will.
Ward wants to divorce you.
I'm sorry. Why haven't you called the police?
They've done nothing but to call for the police. They have kept me penniless so that I can't leave.
They've kept her pantyless, those monsters.
They're trying to destroy my mind, Mr. Lee.
They only wanna try to find some way to hurt her brain. Hurt her brain, hurt her brain.
Nothing. Now, this doctor's brought some stranger here with these tricks and illusions to further make me
You mean the professor and his little,
Yes. You must help me, Mr. Lee.
Laura, it's so good to see you downstairs again after all these days being locked in your room.
You know perfectly well why I've remained locked in my room.
Ouch. Guess Ward won't be getting the beaver tonight.
The gentleman I told you about upstairs.
Oh, yes. Look here, Mr. Lee. We don't want any more of that front-page splash stuff, such as I got when I married Laura.
Your wife's been telling us that she's being kept here under constant threat.
And my mustache strongly disapproves.
They don't overlook a single chance to put it in my head that I'm crazy.
Perhaps I can explain, Mr. Lee.
She's crazy.
We don't believe there's anything wrong with Laura now. But we are sure something will happen to her mind if she continues to live under this strain.
Just as I told you, they're behind it. Can't I make that clear to you? They spend all their time trying to terrify me. They write me letters in green ink. They send me dummy heads wrapped in green paper. Anything to frighten me so I can't sleep. I can't think. The only thought in my head is that I'm going to be killed.
To be fair, that's a big problem.
Very serious charges, gentlemen. And I might say it'd make a perfect front-page splash.
Lee, if you dare print a word about those ravings of my wife...
Don't do anything to make me think they aren't ravings, Mr. Van E.
Hot towel?
He said to put the blindfold on, and you will know the truth.
No!
Boy, people will do anything to get out of this movie.
What's wrong with her, Doc?
Quiet, Raymond.
You don't mean that she's...
Dead, Raymond.
Finally, my time to shine.
Then I knew that he was here.
Who? Hey, Inigo again. So, has anyone figured out what's my purpose in this film?
She's coming out of it, but she's in an advanced state of shock.
Your maid is dead. You have bigger problems right now.
That's intended to shut her up. I'd like to hear her do some more talking, Doctor.
Oh, now you want to hear a
If
woman
her mind is
talk.
allowed to dwell upon what's happened, that may be the breaking point.
Well, you've got all the answers.
Look here, Lee, I don't like your tone. If you have any insinuations to make them to me.
Won't they be the same insinuations no matter who he says them to?
Downstairs.
I don't recognize your right to question me. However, if it'll make you leave Father alone...
Bill, fix yourself a chair right outside the door and don't leave until I get back.
Sure. But what about Lily Pad? Don't she write nothing around here?
Oh, that's the first thing Raymond said that made me like him. Too late, though. Too late.
You bust in here saying you're a reporter.
That's the old turn the tables gag, Vanny, but if it'll make you any happier, take a look.
Why, that's filthy.
All right, you're a reporter. But I still don't understand how you and the young lady got the news about our troubles. Do you really believe that story, Lee? Do you in your right senses really believe that we are keeping Laura a prisoner here?
That's what the lady says. She said that...
Nonsense. Nothing would please me more than if she got out.
Look, I don't get any of this stuff, Vanny, but there's a tricky deal going on around here, and I intend to sit in on it.
I'm exercising my jurisdiction as the arts reporter for a free weekly.
Yes, isn't it?
Either your wife is the victim of a well-plotted program of persecution calculated to drive her insane, or she's the witch you say she is.
Can't they both be true?
News. What does it tell you?
It tells me that right now I'd like to know where your disappearing relative is.
He crawled through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness I can't even imagine.
Get back, you fool.
These curtains are taffeta. They wrinkle if you look at them funny.
Don't see anything. What was it?
It isn't possible. It isn't possible, of course.
What do you see out there, Lee? I've had enough of this.
Come on.
Are you nervous, Miss Cornell?
Oh, no. I think it's very exciting.
Ah, standing over a sleeping virgin. This is my wheelhouse.
Well, Professor, I thought I just saw you outside, banging at the moon.
You disturbed her sleep. You child.
Where have you been? How about you start acting normally for a change? You're bringing...
Hey, screw you. Bella's the only one doing any acting in this film.
Suppose you tell us.
Has no one arranged to silence you yet, Mr. Lee? What a pity.
I don't silence very easy, Professor. And it'd take a lot more than what you've done to her.
It would take a lot more than killing you?
That I had a hand in that poor girl's unfortunate demise.
Why don't you behave yourself, Professor? Mr. Van E here has the right idea. You're just gumming up the works.
I did my humble best.
Who are you working for? What do you expect to get out of it?
This month's rent and enough smack to see me through till Saturday.
A debt contracted many years ago. Now, are you any wiser than you were a moment ago?
No, but I'm beginning to get a general idea.
By the way, how's that little girl of yours? I hope fervently that nothing happened to her. She would look so beautiful lying here.
Yeah, you're not really averting suspicion there, Bela.
Here, but if I thought you had any plan to do that...
Why do you persist in making me the villain, Mr. Lee?
Well, it is sort of your thing.
Now we will let you be the witness, Mr. Lee. I am here.
I am queer. Get used to it. The sad thing is, he accidentally tied himself up.
In there, it's murder.
Oscar Bluth, no!
Jenny, wake up! Wake up!
Oh, Terry!
Tell me, what happened?
Wow, she's just had a really traumatic experience, but I bet he'll handle it sensitively.
Then it started to talk.
What started to talk?
Or he'll be a dismissive asshole.
Now look, let's get back to the beginning. I left you here with Dr. Van E.
Yeah, and Benny gave Mrs. Vanny a shot with a long needle.
Never mind that.
All right. Then he said, would I sit with Mrs. Vanny?
Okay, where is she now?
Who?
Mrs. Van E.
Where did she go?
It's just what I asked you, Janie.
She's in shock, you asshole.
Vanny went out.
Then what happened?
Well, then Raymond came in.
Oh, that's great. The two of you in the same room at the same time. How did you communicate with each other? Sign language?
We actually discussed the later works of Simone de Beauvoir, not that you'd be interested.
I didn't ask to come to this, whatever it is.
Oh, yes, you did, dear. Don't you remember? You said you wanted to see what the life of a reporter was like.
Don't forget, Mr. Lee, one must not expect too much of certain types of mentality.
Wah,
I
wah.
remember you when you couldn't even make your X.
The fuck does that mean?
We can't go home, darling. We've got to get a story.
And that means you can't call your traumatized fiancé a taxi?
Yes, I do. Why do we have to get the story? Who cares?
She's got you there.
All right. Now you tell me, what happened to you?
Is he throwing up
Me?
gang signs?
Well, you said to stay outside the door, and I pulled up a chair.
That's right. She was inside the door and you were outside.
That's how doors work, see? We've seen maybe 4 rooms in this house. How's there room for all these secret passages? Reading can really take you places. But don't take my word for it. Ba-da-da!
Then come that odor of heavenly perfume.
That was an early bit.
It was sweet and penetrating, like an ancient drug.
Raymond's suddenly gone from Lenny Small to Omar Khayyam.
Oh, so sleepy.
At last he had me under his power.
Hoo! Cha-cha-cha.
A button or a gadget of some kind around here. 2 o'clock, almost deadline for the 9 o'clock final.
Oh, Terry, what makes you think there's anything behind them walls?
I've got a sneaking suspicion that the professor uses them for a disappearing act.
I wish Lilybeth was here. Make me a cup of coffee.
Well, she's right over in the doctor's office. Why don't you ask her?
You're a real dick, Terry.
Poor Lilybeth. I kind of hinted that all I needed was a murdered body, but I didn't think she'd take it personal.
Oh, I almost forgot. Raymond's a dick, too.
I've been around him 3 times, Terry.
The thing I can't understand, if the professor was down here when the trouble was going on upstairs, he just had to be 2 different guys in order to have a hand in it.
Oh, Terry, let's figure it out in the morning, huh?
Sure, the murderer in the house will keep till tomorrow. I am an open door. Damn kids always leaving the door open, running in and out. Hey, we're not heating the whole goddamn outdoors.
Wake up. Either something or somebody opened the front door.
Or the latch is just defective.
That's the shortest night's sleep I've had in a long time.
All right. Now that you're good and rested, let's see if we can understand what happened upstairs.
Well, do you think it had something to do with that picture, maybe, that Lilibet found in Mrs. Van Ee's room?
What picture?
Oh, the one with the couple with the two masks, you know, like we found, like that mask.
A hidden picture with a mask identical to one used in a crime? Nah, doesn't sound like a connection.
That's the point. Where has Mr. Van Ee been since his wife's disappearance?
Well, him and his old man are sleeping.
Hi, I'm the masked killer. Just letting you know when you find out who I am, it'll be disappointing.
They haven't slept in their beds tonight. Wake up!
I refuse to answer on the grounds that my tend to incriminate or degrade me. My unconscious mind.
You don't have a mind.
Please stay awake for a while. Now look, tell me, what happened when you smelled that sweet odor in the hall upstairs?
No, it smelled lovely. Lovely, that's all I can remember.
And Dr. Van Ee had already left Laura's room, is that right?
Yeah, he'd gone out, and he said goodnight, and he had given her some sedative or something that he said would take care of her till morning, and then he went down the hall to his own room.
Holding on a shot of a sleeping idiot. Suspense!
No, I just kind of dozed off a little. Like this.
Here's your coffee, sir.
Terry, that's a dirty trick.
Stay on the other side of that window.
What for?
Take a look.
I'm looking.
What do you see?
Apparently a trans-dimensional portal.
Louie! Gee, this ain't natural.
Who are you talking to?
And how the hell did you get over there?
Poor little angel. Try and speak to me.
She can't hear you.
This underexposed shot brought to you by Contempt for the Audience. Contempt for the Audience, seen in shitty films everywhere.
What was you doing outside?
The same thing I was doing inside, Raymond. Decomposing.
I gotta catch that guy in the shrubbery.
It is a good shrubbery. I like the laurels particularly.
What are you doing to me, Lilibet?
If watching a man stagger under the weight of the corpse of his beloved isn't comedy, I don't know what is.
Be reasonable, will you? If you don't cooperate, I'll never get back to Central.
Never mind, Raymond. Take care of Lilibet. Lilibet!
I looked at her literally less than a minute ago, but I have no object permanence.
So it was. I opened the door and she fell right in my arms. Like she had something special to tell me. You notice that fragrance about her? And to think this wilted flower was once even as you and I.
At my back I always hear Time's winged chariot hurrying near. Andrew Marvell really had some profound things to say about mortality, you know?
You found her.
I never knew she was lost.
I missed her. I missed her from my office. Will you please take her back?
What are you going to do?
Best if you don't ask
What
that
have you been
question.
doing? We've turned this house upside down trying to find you.
Hardly that, young man. If you'd done that, you would have found me. Now, Raymond, we can't allow this girl to remain in this condition any longer.
Well, what can you do? She looks like a perfect stiff to me.
Bring him into my office.
It just so happens she's only mostly
This
dead.
may not be any news to you, but your daughter-in-law has disappeared.
Oh, how dreadful. But let us say somewhat overdue, eh, Mr. Lee?
You don't seem very surprised to hear about it.
Young man, when you've been devoutly praying for something to happen, you accept your good fortune without question.
Is that really an appropriate sentiment with a murderer on the loose? Da 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 da. Da da da
You
da.
might be able to throw some light on the subject.
That's right, Raymond. Leave her there. There's absolutely nothing wrong with her.
Except for the deadness.
And you mean I've been pining away for nothing?
She was put in a deep hypnotic sleep, that's all.
But why? Why, Doc? Who done it?
It was done so that she would obey certain orders that were transmitted to her.
If that's true, then why did you declare her dead?
I had my own good reasons.
It was funny, don't you think it was funny?
Why you like to go around getting hit on the head? That must become a little monotonous.
Mr. Lee, are you sure that you saw what you thought you saw?
Well, I'm not blind. I might be getting a little dizzy in this madhouse.
We interrupt actual plot development to bring you a woman sleeping on a couch. Oh, Ricky. Huh? A masked killer. I'm not interrupting my sleep for that. Well, this scene added a lot. I'm glad we did this.
You know, Doctor, morning isn't very far off. And when the police get here, you've got an awful lot of explaining to do. You're in this up to your neck.
By morning, let us hope no explanations will be necessary. Everything will have explained itself.
Yeah, right. Chantal Ackerman's movies were more tightly plotted than this piece of garbage.
Poor little sleeping beauty. Do you suppose someone thought she looked weak-minded and picked her out to carry out his commands?
That's not always the case, Raymond.
Otherwise, he definitely would have chosen you.
Very quickly.
Gentlemen, it is my peculiar misfortune to always be in a position where I may eavesdrop.
And to be a charismatic actor constantly stuck in shitty films like this.
Ask me no questions, my friend, and I will tell you no lies.
Leonard, you could undo certain mischief that has been done this girl. I know you can help if you will.
I could, Marie Joseph. But I will not bring down the wrath of the unknown madman who is loose about these premises.
Please bring down his wrath. Anything's better than watching these idiots run around 4 rooms for an hour.
I have an idea that you may have already carried out the unknown's orders and that he no longer needs her.
Nevertheless, Marie Joseph, you must excuse me.
I'm late for my hot yoga class.
I wonder what would happen, Professor, if in connection with your sudden reappearance here, somebody dug up the old story of why you swindled Dr. Van E. and then ran off and let him take the rap.
You know, a much more interesting story than the one we're telling now.
And I observe again that you're a young man who knows too much for his own good. And I would also like to know where you obtained all this information. You're extremely young to have your fingertips on events of 20 years ago.
I have a memory like an elephant. I never forget something once I hear it. I'm a sharpie, Professor.
He's a permanent
As
marker?
every one of you will admit before morning. Now, Doctor, I'd like to bore you with a few questions.
Mission already
I
accomplished.
wouldn't mind, young man, if you had the slightest idea of what you were looking for.
Maybe if we start back to the time around midnight.
No!
You administered what you call a sedative to your daughter-in-law.
Are you inferring that I had anything to do with Laura's disappearance?
No, he's implying it. You're inferring
You
it.
know you'll have to confess when the police get here anyway.
I would remind you, young man, that you're making a direct accusation. And I refuse to answer.
Look, I want the facts and I want them now. Let's cut out the mulberry bush routine.
Yeah,
Listen,
that's not
Bill,
an expression.
You're supposed to be a cop and you want to get back to homicide. Help me make the doctor loosen up.
Massage his
There's a lot more than
shoulders.
he's telling.
Well, sure, I'll help Terry, but first let's get Lilybeth out of this. Maybe she can tell us something.
Yes, Mr. Lee, it seems to me that you're not too anxious to have Lilybeth restored to consciousness.
Wait, was that an accusation? Lee's the one guy we know isn't involved. Jesus!
What do you hear, Doc?
The ocean.
Her heart's in a very depressed condition.
Well, yeah, she's stuck in
Someone's
this
been giving
movie.
her orders by mental telepathy.
Hey, could I learn to do that? Supposing Lilybeth was in the kitchen, could I telegraph her a wish for a cup of coffee? Huh?
I love how we're just bringing up mental telepathy and everybody's so matter-of-fact about it. Yeah, that exists.
Maria Joseph. The principle of hypnosis isn't as simple as you would make them believe.
So Bela's a telepathic hypnotist with a shady past who was caught in Europe during the war and travels with a dwarf. Why aren't we watching that movie?
For I see you truly love this child.
Why else would you think about coffee while she's in a coma?
For your sake, I shall use my knowledge.
Oh, gee, thanks, Professor. You're solid.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. It's late and a murderous hypnotist is on the loose.
Wake up.
Just the old guys now. All you did was clean the place, and then I slapped you right in your face. Oh, Maggie, I just want this movie to be over.
It's better that way.
What have you been doing to me?
Me? What have I been doing?
Yes, what have you been doing?
You gotta learn me that hypnotism trick. It's my only chance.
Tell me, Lilybeth, what happened?
Well, I can't seem to remember it.
Of course not. We wouldn't want to advance the plot.
No. But I do remember a perfume, a sweet odor.
Yes, go on.
Oh, good. It's been several minutes since Terry was a misogynistic asshole. I almost forgot to hate him.
Terry, darling.
Yes, Jane. What is it?
Is it Halloween?
No, it isn't.
Then why was that green face bobbing up at the window?
What?
Yeah, a green face just like the one I saw in Miss Van E's room.
You saw a green face in Mrs. Van E's room?
She was wearing the mask when you found her unconscious.
I mentioned it to you, but you're so scatterbrained.
Yes, dear, I'm scatterbrained. Does your mind feel rested now and everything after your nap?
You lousy woman.
Good girl. Now, come on, tell me, what happened?
Boo! Get your hands off her.
I can tell you just how it happened. We were alone in the room, and Laura was going to sleep. And then she said, "Oh, take away the bandage." And I said, "What bandage?" And then she said, "Oh, don't shoot me. I didn't mean to do it." And then, the room got awfully black. I think somebody must have turned off the lights.
Well, that'd do it.
Just like that.
Go ahead, you're doing fine.
Well...
Yeah, the lights had already gone out.
Uh-huh. And the room got awfully dark.
You've already
Unmotivated
said that.
cutaway.
Think hard now. You saw a green mask.
It came out of the wardrobe.
Like a moth?
That's a weird analogy to use for a green mask.
Oh, how clever of you. It was just like a great big moth, and it flew around and
Please
around.
don't make yourself any dizzier than you are.
Glad to see
I'll
Terry's
tell you
making
after
use of that feminist studies
I
minor.
don't see how you could remember that it was like a great big moth. And did you see it? Was you there hiding in the wardrobe, maybe?
No, I wasn't in the wardrobe.
I'm watching the relationship disintegrate.
Be yourself. No, I mean, don't be yourself. Just relax. Relax.
Mr. Lee,
I want my daughter-in-law dead, and I'm offended by how you're handling this.
where were you? Were you upstairs?
Lee is the one person who can't be involved. Holy shit!
Here I am, Mr. Lee. What can I do for you?
She's had no reaction to the woman she thought was dead walking around, but a guy comes up behind her and she
You haven't
freaks.
answered my father's question yet.
Oh, come on, take it easy, take it easy. Maybe you can tell us where you've been, Mr. Vanny.
I ran to the McDonald's. I don't like using the bathroom in a house full of people. It's a
I
thing.
want to go home. I'm hungry.
Quiet, everybody, quiet!
Don't anybody move! A fuse is out!
Don't. No, don't. Don't.
Don't stop believing.
Laura!
No, not expel.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an exciting night.
Compared to what?
Deserving of some explanation and relaxation for the strange goings-on.
The guy who's doing the talking is behind the wall somewhere.
Now you're getting smart, Sherlock.
Being able to triangulate the direction of sound does not make you smart.
Appeared at the height of their success in the green room of the Paris Crillon.
Sure. The mask. The picture.
I was beginning to think the identical mask we found at the scene of the crime was a coincidence.
Now I know who he is.
You've clearly known all the
Mademoiselle
time.
Lorette will now put a bandage over her eyes, the better to see the inner truth.
Very good, Rene. Very good.
I don't know, as plots go, I'd call it needlessly convoluted.
Would any member of the audience like to ask Mademoiselle a question? Come, Mr. Lee. You have been so full of questions up to now.
Yeah, but I didn't think the answers would be so
We
stupid.
cannot keep Mademoiselle too long in this delicate mental balance. She has been under a great strain lately. Then I will ask the questions myself.
Yes, Rennie, I'm at your command.
Are you afraid now?
No, I'm quite safe.
That's clearly untrue.
Will you tell the truth?
Yes. They came to me and said your partner, he of the magic feats and rare impersonations, is a spy.
Oh, magic feats and impersonations. That would have been good information to have earlier.
If you, Lorette, bring us that proof.
Now we shall know.
You gave them the proof they wanted.
Yes,
They took him away to be killed.
yes.
What was he to you, this man you betrayed? This man you sold to the enemy for money?
He was my husband.
What? You said earlier you wouldn't know him without the photograph.
You sent this man a gift for his last moment before the firing squad. What was it?
A Target gift card. In retrospect, probably poor taste.
Like the one you're wearing now?
Yes,
Why did you send it?
it was my scarf. I wanted him to know I had betrayed him because I hated him. He was good and kind, but I hated him for the power he had over me.
Because all good and kind husbands exercise power over their spouses.
You thought they shot him. You escaped to America. You thought you were safe. Then you found out he was alive and wanted revenge. Thank you, Mademoiselle Lorette. You may remove the bandage now. What do you see on the cloth, Mademoiselle?
There's a hole in it.
Clearly no.
Yes. What else, Lorette? What else?
There's blood on it.
Again, there's clearly not.
There's blood.
I have come back.
Jor-El's back, and he's pissed.
No! No, don't touch me!
The nightly refrain of Mrs. Ted Cruz.
Outside, under the window, you know where.
Yes, he had his revenge.
She's wet herself, it's hysterical.
Just a minute, lady. You ain't going nowheres. Well, if it ain't Mrs. Williams.
Only clearly much taller and penisier than the last time we saw
Come
her.
on, you want me to slug you? Get inside. Hey, Terry, come here. Get a load of this. There's your man.
It's especially interesting how he doesn't look even slightly like the actress who played Mrs. Williams earlier.
Nay, my boy, you kept your promise to me. You said you wouldn't touch her.
But she's dead, ain't she? And you ain't going nowhere till we find out what killed her.
Pretty sure the answer to that's in the title.
You know so much for your own good. I'm holding you, too.
Now you're getting smart, Bill.
Not really.
I see you two know each other.
Yes.
Everybody knows everybody in this movie except Raymond.
Everything he knows. He went out for himself and became a success. Later, we met in a concentration camp.
He was in a concentration camp during the war? Come on!
Small world, indeed.
Terry, isn't this the place where you get the marriage licenses?
You know, Terry's a misogynistic monster, but it's getting harder and harder to ignore the fact that Janie's an idiot.
Oh, never mind, dear. You just stay right here. Nobody will get you.
Oh, but...
Well, Doctor, got anything to add to my story of the year?
Who's this Renee?
Renee was a husband. She turned him over for a sum. Figured the Nazis would take care of him, but he had ideas of his own.
If only all the other Allied spies executed by the Nazis had had ideas of their own.
We're sending the report to the police.
What does it say?
Oh, come on, Doctor. Don't hold out on us.
I didn't understand it at first, but I do now.
DiCaprio's still dreaming at the end of Inception.
Found no internal disturbances.
What does this all add up to, Doctor?
Yes, let's have it.
She was literally scared to death.
Also, she had a congenital heart defect, slow-growing tumor at the base of her spine, a lot of liver damage. Really, anything could have killed her. To be honest, we're sort of stumped. Yeah, as soon as this movie ended, Bela Lugosi probably found the Holy Grail.